Hi, my name is Ronnie Vanderpool, and I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ and walking in recovery from drugs and alcohol. Um, I wanted to touch on, I believe I had the addict and alcoholic mentality before I even picked up for the first time. Every sign I showed was leading me right to addiction, It's just the way my mind works. And I always wanted more of something. I always had to be doing something. I always had to be, motivated by something. I always had to have that, I guess, burst of energy. Well, when I found recovery, I had to turn my addiction because I believe I will always be an addict, alcoholic. That's why, God forbid if I relapse tomorrow, that my addiction would take off just like that. Like it never left. That's why I try so hard in recovery. But now, I've turned my addiction into something positive instead of going to drugs and alcohol, which were going to kill me. I turned it into something positive. My addiction has gone towards recovery. All I do is talk about recovery. I'm in the process of learning how to balance recovery and, outside of recovery, if that makes sense. Like having fun outside of recovery. And I'm just not, it took me a very long time to get there, And also, my addiction is only possible through God. And so I've turned my addiction into learning more about God, having more of a relationship with God, getting to know, followers of God. And I've just turned it into something positive. Like I go to 5 meetings a week. Because I need those 2 days to take a step back, but I don't ever stop working recovery. On them 2 days that I have off from meetings, I turn it into something positive. I go out to dinner with my family, which my family is the reason why I wanted to get sober in the first place. I was tired of hurting them. But yeah, I've turned my addiction into something positive. That's why I think I had my addiction way before I even picked up for the first time, Everything I do, I constantly got to question myself. I got to question my motives. Because that addiction is still in my mind. Like I'm still one drink or one time using away from throwing away everything. I've talked to so many people, and I've learned a lot of lessons from when they went back out. Everyone had a common denominator. They all come back and told me it wasn't worth it, So before every time I get that stinking thinking and I want to go back out, and I think that's the only solution is to get through that day is if I use, and then I tell myself like, Ronnie, as soon as you pick up that first time, you might not make it back. And that's what keeps me going. It doesn't matter how bad the day is getting, like everything is going wrong on that day. I give it to God and I say, God, just get me through today without using. As long as I lay my head down at night, not using that day, that's a victory, There are some days that I have to, all I can do is stay sober, I don't get nothing done. I'm not productive, I don't feel like, but that's my addiction creeping up on me, If you get through 1 day sober, that's a victory, That's But my addiction tries to get me in other ways, you know, because it's still in me. It's still waiting. My addiction does push-ups when, you know, outside my door, when I'm sleeping. So I put my addiction towards recovery, and that's something positive. You know what I mean? And everything I do, I go full throttle. I feel like I'm working towards something today. I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm achieving everything I wanted to in life, and my dreams are coming true, and I just turn my life into something positive. Instead of looking at the problem, I look for the solution today. How can I get through that day with sober, you know? And I go to meetings, I stay connected with people, and my sober support, I stay connected. Actually, my sponsor didn't tell me this, but I call him on a daily basis, you know what I mean? Because that's what I have to do to stay sober. Because me and him have this relationship that he knows stuff about me that nobody else knows, you know what I mean? I tell my sponsor everything. And I just turn my addiction into something positive, and that's the beautiful thing about my addiction. I don't look at it as negative. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but I use my addiction in a powerful way now, you know, by letting people know what God did in my life, and you know, so you can turn your addiction into something positive also, you know, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless.